Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie day trade setup for today, South African top 40. So yesterday we ended up with a bit of a tail here, and a few patterns in play at the moment. So obviously there is a trend line that we're kind of adhering to, which is, in my eyes anyway, a bigger wedge. And then inside here there is also this little megaphone formation that is also forming. So a lot of warning signs that we are basically looking for a turn, but I think it didn't happen off a level. So I think we need to just go down to the 3 hour and you'll see the levels that we're talking about. So firstly, the level that I would have expected us to tag would have been this one here. Okay, so this was 51,580. So there was quite a bit of interaction or support to the left at this level. But instead, we kind of turned in typical Aussie fashion right in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I didn't quite take that level. I'm not sure what we picked up as the level that we turned off. And also the 61.8 Fibonacci was also a little bit lower. You can see we turned in between the 50 and the 61.8. So yeah, it's a hard one to call at the moment, but I suspect just looking at the price action we have on the 3 hour, that big we've got the big red bar down, and then we've got sort of inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. That's a bullish pattern. So ultimately what we can argue is that that's the level we turned off there, even though we squirted below it a couple of times. That's a level we need to defend. So 51,834 is your stop area. Okay, let's just move us across. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we do have what looks like a bit of a flag here. Just pull that up there. Could also just be a channel. We do have a grouping of the oscillators on the downside with a crossover an hour. And right now, we have Tencent, which is up 0.9%. And we also have the Rand dollar at 14.97. So still hovering around that 15 mark. So by the looks of things, we're probably going to get a gap up, smallish gap up. And then hopefully come back and find some structure. We didn't really get structure yesterday. We got the gap down, but there was no real opportunity to get in short on this. As you can see by my balance, which has gone down at another 600 Rand, we kind of got caught on a few things as well. Anyway, so at the moment, we had a massive move down yesterday, big gap down, big rally down, and then consolidated. So we consolidated for most of the day. So if I delete all the noise, and we then take that as our top level, and I think you might as well take the low of yesterday as your low level. So 51673 is your stop area, or 51670 is probably going to be a better stop area. I'm going to leave a little bit of wiggle room, and then level to the upside that we're looking to break is 51958. Okay, so I do suspect we're going to get a gap up and then probably a pullback to close the opening gap, and then I reckon we're probably going to assault this gap up here. Okay, now as I said yesterday, don't be too surprised if we form a bigger range, and I think that's pretty much what we are going to start doing now. So I would expect us to come up, close a gap, come back down, and then just sort of meander in this range at the moment. 3 hour oscillators are grouping to downside, well, moving to downside, so we're not quite as overbought as what we were. And we could argue that we are going to just basically set up a wider channel. So we can do that, or alternatively something like that. But I think that's probably the channel that we're going to play in. Okay, so I'm looking for longs. definitely looking for some structure to get in on the long. And we'll look at this on the Ichimoku. Give us a little bit more insight. Okay, so looking at the 12-minute, we do have quite a bit of resistance above us. So that's why I'm expecting us to sort of gap up and just move back to the downside. Come and close this gap and then structure. We do have a twist here. Chico span is just repriced. We're below the cloud and the cloud is red. So mixed signals, but still relatively positive. So on the hour, we've got a crossover, we've got a twist, we've got a lot of structure here that's saying another move down. With that in mind, I would keep this trend line in check. If we do break that trend line, then you can assume that we have a flag. Okay. Looking at the oscillator at the moment, no diversions or anything at the moment which would argue that point for me. But looking at the hour here, there's definitely merit that we get a bit of a move to the upside and then on that pullback that we rally past the gap, not rally, but fall past the gap and break to the downside. So the hour is looking a little bit bearish, but we do have this twist here in Dickinson here, which is starting to happen. You can see it's starting to round here. And remember, whenever you see that, you see an example here. Here's an example here. So you see Dickinson is flat, and then Dickinson rounds and comes up to cross. Okay, so whenever you see that kind of thing, you can assume that you're going to have some form of crossover and you're going to have a move to the upside. Okay, so 50-50 call at the moment of which way we're going to go. Then on the 4-hour, we are bullish on all accounts. We're kind of bouncing off Kijilson at the moment. We did get through it, but we got back above it. So we need to break below the low of yesterday to merit a continuation to the downside. Okay, and on the daily, you can see we've had a pullback onto Dickinson. Everything else is bullish except for Chico span, which is Chico span is, sorry, I thought it was on this tail, but Chico span is above price as well. So everything is bullish at the moment. So this could be the pullback that I was looking for. I was looking for a little bit deeper, to be honest, on the daily, but this could very well be the pullback and the start of a channel. It's going to be a relatively narrow channel to the upside. So that's the bottom. And then the top will be something like that. Okay. So that is what we're looking at the moment. So I suspect what we should be looking for today is wait for a pullback and then look for your entry long. And your stop area is definitely going to be below the low of yesterday. Okay, so a bit of a gap up. Probably find some structure somewhere. Don't know if it'll be that high. Probably a bit of a lower gap, something like that. Find some structure, then pull back. Could also just range for a bit and then break to the upside. But that's kind of my view for today. Let's see whether we get it. Okay, so anyway, guys, that's my view. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.